Has there been a loss of perspective in Clemson, South Carolina? I think we need to talk about this just a little bit more. Dabo Swinney was talking to the media right around last week, I believe it was, and a reporter asked him this question. He said, "You said something this morning talking about expectations and never wanting expectations to exceed your appreciation. Do you feel like a large part of the fan base needed kind of a realignment of that perspective?" That's a loose paraphrase, but that's essentially the question that the Clemson reporter asked. Dabo Swinney responded. He said, quote, "Yeah, I mean, I don't pay attention to all of that stuff, but you know it's there, right? And then especially when you've got all kinds of stuff coming at you from different sides. I mean, we've won 3 national championships in 127 years. The problem is we've won 2 in 7. So sometimes that can create a loss of perspective. And I think when you lose perspective, you lose your joy. And I think that's what's made Clemson unique and special, is this place has always had a lot of fun." There's 2 sides to this, right? There's 2 sides to this whole conversation around losing perspective. On one hand, Dabo Swinney is absolutely right. I also want to make this clear. He wasn't fishing for a compliment. He wasn't looking for some sort of opportunity to say, yeah, maybe we're a little bit underappreciated in regards to what we've accomplished here in the past and what we're accomplishing right now. But here's the reality. You win some for the first time, and it's new, it's fresh. People get excited. It's provocative. It gets the people going. Nobody knows what it means, but you win, and that's the response you get. You win again, people are thrilled. This winning thing is awesome, man. Let's keep this party rolling, as we like to say around here. This is great. Everyone's drinking the winning Kool-Aid. It's a good time. You win yet again, and people are polite. Yeah, that's great. We like winning, but we've also been winning here for a while. We're happy. We're happy to win, but that's sort of what we expect right now. The feeling is just a little bit dulled down. Then you lose a little bit. And let me make this clear. When I say you lose less than you ever have before. To put it in perspective, you lose, let's say, 2 or 3 games. Then people get frustrated. And that's the reality in Clemson, South Carolina. Does that make sense to you? Does that sound like an appropriate response to having had a habit of winning, and then when winning was a new thing, and then you start having just a little bit of a drop-off from what you had done the past few years, and then there's frustration? Doesn't make sense to me. I don't think that's fair. It's like on Christmas morning, you open 15 presents. 15 presents is a lot. But you got 20 presents the year before, so you're a little bit put out. Well, guess what? You were used to getting around 10 to 6 presents prior to getting 20 presents. I hope I'm making sense here. This is still sort of a new thing for Clemson to be so successful under Dabo Swinney. Clemson has enjoyed a lot of success under Dabo Swinney, and that's, I think, the point he's making. We've won 3 national titles in 127 years. We won 2 in the last 7. So Dabo Swinney, again, is 1,000% validated in what he's saying. But I think there's more to it. If you have not yet subscribed, would love to have you a part of this community. Nick Brake lifting heavy. We're over here behind the mic holding it down. This is y'all's show. You drive it. It's the people's program. So thank you in advance for that. For those of you that have subscribed, if you haven't yet, welcome to the party. We're glad to have you. Also, follow me on my socials at JD Piquel on Twitter as well as on Instagram to continue this conversation. We do content every single day. We're live on Tuesdays. We're live on Thursdays, 1 Central, 2 Eastern. But I'm telling you, those DMs, stay open, all right? When you do well at your job and then have a slight drop-off, you don't get to say, well, I'm great compared to the guy that was here before me. No, you've been doing great at your job. So we're going to hold you to that standard that you've set. You have set the bar for yourself. Dabo Swinney has set the bar differently in Clemson, South Carolina than what they're previously used to. That's the reality right now. For Dabo Swinney to say, hey, maybe there's been a loss of perspective, I think that's fair. But if you were to just look at what Dabo Swinney has done at Clemson and how well they've competed under him, the expectation level has changed. It's like when you got a 3.7 GPA, but you're capable of a 4.0 because you've done it before, yes, there's going to be frustration from your parents or from whoever's around you that expects more of you. You don't get to say, well, hey, Timmy got a 3.0. Nobody's worried about Timmy. Nobody's worried about that school that's competing with you that isn't on your level. Timmy's not as smart as you. Timmy's never gotten a 4.0 before. So, yeah, if you've gotten a 4.0 before and you're achieving less than that, there's frustration because you have set the bar at a 4.0 level, and you have achieved at a 4.0 level before. So for that reason, yes, there is frustration. You don't get to compare it to Timmy. Apologies to Timmy, who's I'm sure watching at home. You set the bar differently. Now, here's what I would also say. You never want success in any field, much less as a college football coach, to become abnormal. To become abnormal. You want success to be the standard, to be the expectation, to be the bar, whatever you want to put to it. You want success to be who you are week in and week out. During this press conference, Dabo Swinney also talked about when they first won the ACC title. Clemson gets off the bus, or tries to get off the bus, rather, when they come home to Clemson, South Carolina, and there was 5,000 deep. Like, they could not get off the bus. It was standing room only. It was packed to the gills. He says, we won the ACC this year, came home, and nobody there. Again, I'm paraphrasing, but that was the sentiment that was laid out. It's because Clemson has established a new standard. That is who they are. That is the expectation. Success is the identity in Clemson, South Carolina. Before I got to On3, we did this whole operation more or less independently in Waco, Texas. Was very close to Baylor University. So I was in Waco when Baylor and their men's basketball team won a national title. You know what the response was to that? They were burning couches in the street. Furniture just being lit on fire on residential roads. It was a beautiful thing. It was a tremendous celebration. But do you know why that was the response? Do you know why furniture was being lit on fire after winning a national championship? It was the first one in history. Baylor had never won a national title before in men's basketball. So for that reason, that was the response. That wasn't the identity at Baylor. That wasn't who they had been before. Now, Baylor's had a tremendous program. They've done a lot of things really well on the basketball court, but that was their first one. For Clemson, you want a celebration. You want people to enjoy success, but you don't want it to be abnormal. You don't want it to be a party in the street every time you win the ACC title. Celebrate, do whatever is appropriate to do, but when the bar is set at a championship level, the bar is the bar. And you, as a program in Clemson, South Carolina, have set that bar there. That is a privilege. That is a privilege to have that kind of pressure. So Dabo Swinney saying there's been a loss of perspective, I think is 100% valid. I would also say there's two sides to the story, as Clemson now is one of college football's elites. Given the track record of the last 10 years, they're one of college football's elites, so they're being treated as such. I'm excited to see what they do in 2023. Very, very excited to see what happens in 2023. Garrett Riley taking over play calling duties. Cade Klubnik going to be QB1. A lot of optimism, a lot of pressure. Pressure is privilege. And guess what? No pressure, no diamonds. And they put diamonds on championship rings. This has been the Hard Count. Nick Brake, lifting heavy. This is your show. Again, we are live Tuesday, Thursday, 1 Central, 2 Eastern. Come hang out with us. Get in the live chat. Let your thoughts, feelings, concerns be known to us here on the channel, to everyone else in the live chat, the Hard Count family. We'd love to have you a part of it. Subscribe if you have not already. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at JDPikel to make sure you do not miss a minute of what we got going on right here. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep the party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.